Hello, everybody. Welcome to the kickoff of our Shadows of the Earthspurs campaign that we're going to start. It's a D&D 5e campaign where I am going to be running an adventure through the world of Faerun, specifically starting in the nation Impiltur. We are just getting started. We have just done our session 0 in the studio and wrapped up our starting entanglements and whatnot. We will probably have that available separately as video on demand and everything. And we have enough time. We're going to actually get started, and we're going to see how everything goes with getting these new characters acquainted and sort of driven in a common direction. Alrighty, so in a high tower, in an office of one of the chancellors of the city of Y, which is in the region called Feldkirk, which most people just call Falkirk if they're not locals, there is a very tense and stressed man. Seems to carry a lot of stress on his shoulders. Lots of things he's juggling. He wears robes and chains of state, and he is stuck behind a desk that's just full of paperwork and sitting in a room full of his own complaints, more or less. And one of his aides shuffles in and waits for a moment to be recognized. And when the chancellor finally looks up, he just starts in with, "I'm sorry to disturb you with this again, sir, but we've received yet another missive." From whom? A missive from whom? From the village of Bastur. Still? Yes, sir. It seems they're demanding that we do something. We don't have the resources to send anything out to some backwoods hamlet right now over rumors and superstitions. They've sent a representative this time, sir. I'm afraid they're insistent. Find someone local and have them follow up on these demons from the sky. Put together a bounty and see if you can get somebody to take care of it that is outside of our usual resources. We can't dispatch somebody for something as ridiculous as this. Based on the claims, make sure that you send somebody proficient with healing, find somebody from the church. Given where it is, we should probably have somebody from the merchant classes present. Oh, you know who we can get. I don't follow, sir. Get that guy that the guards hate, the one that's always meddling. Tell him we have a special task for him. I bet he'll eat that right up. Put together a bounty, get something from the treasury. If there's any provisions they need, provide them with horses, cart, whatever. Just get this taken care of, and for Pete's sake, get that representative out of this building before I run into him, because it won't go well if I do. I shall see to it, sir. And fade out on that. So, early in the afternoon, you're approached by Tristan. You're approached by two guards that you're somewhat familiar with. As is the first time we're interacting with your character, introduce your character by name and just sort of general appearance and what you put out when people see you. Who is Tristan as we see him?
Tristan stands about 6 foot tall, about 180 pounds, long brown hair tied back in a ponytail, wearing dark brownish red leathers.
Okay.
Carries a short sword on his side.
Okay. These two guards walk up to you. You know that they're Duncan and Kane, and they walk up. One of them's trying really hard not to smile. You're guessing he's probably got a little bit of a sore jaw. Um, Duncan, however, has a very serious look on his face. And Tristan, I am so glad we found you. We have something that we actually need a hand with, and we know how much you love to help us out. But we can't send any of our folks away from the garrison right now. And he hands you a sealed piece of paper from the chancellor, and he says, you have been fairly firmly requested to assist us in a small investigation.
Is it me who's being requested, or is it you and the gambling debt I owe you?
And at that point, Kane just can't. He just starts snickering. He's like, "No, you'll find your name is on that paper."
Very well.
We've also been instructed that if there's anything you need, a horse or whatnot, if you don't have your own, we'll provide you with provisions and whatnot before you leave.
Very well.
Okay, he gives you the paper, and they walk off for a little bit, and then they just sort of they find it moderately amusing, but then they go back to their duties because they do have things they need to be doing. So, and the letter, in short, is addressed to you by name, and it is from the Chancellor of Falkirk, who is requesting that you, as a citizen, assist in an investigation. There are some strange rumors and complaints from a hamlet a short ride away, and they just simply don't have the official resources to send somebody out that far. And the letter is fairly frank in that the complaints and reports are frankly absurd. We just need somebody to go out and appease people to us having a response. Look around and see what's going on. There are a couple of people that have gotten sick, but go out and make a presence and return. And for that, the crown is offering 30 gold for your troubles, and provisions and whatever you may need to make the trip comfortable enough. And it just is signed fairly rhetorically, we appreciate your assistance. Thank you. It's just sort of an assumption of you. But it is from essentially the ranking member, the ranking figurehead of this region of Impultur. Okay. He's just a chancellor. He's not any kind of royalty or anything, but he is as high up the totem pole as it goes before you get to the council and people with title, land and title and royalty. He's not royalty, but he's the top dog of this part of Impultur.
Okay.
I should have kept that open. I'm still learning everybody's names too. We're new here. Alamar, you are at the curio shop, delivering just a load of fairly nice crystals and whatnot that have come in that are from the eastern side of the waterway, which means Thay. But of course that's not how you want to say it.
No.
But it is where you get these specific types of crystals and minerals. It's not unusual for that sort of trading to happen here because trading is trading as long as it's honest and people aren't killing each other. Impultur has never really cared. It is rumored that the Red Wizards of Thay even had offices in the trade guilds on the bay. So it's not unusual, but it's still the kind of thing you wouldn't want to really blurt out. So it's just crystals from the east. But it's something that the curio shop has ordered. So since you sort of like doing the sales, maintenance, and representation for this account, you have brought them. You're there dealing with, I've got to get used to saying this, Terranild? Okay. Do you hit the D,
Terranild?
or do you just leave it Terranild?
Terranild?
Okay. All right. You're at the counter talking with Terranild, and probably being stared at fondly from the back by Jogra. Just a usual day, but you know your guard can be let down here, and you're comfortable in this place, which is part of why you like it. When there is a somebody comes from the back, and it's one of the church elders that you're well acquainted with, and he sort of walks in and starts and says, "Oh, I didn't realize we had somebody in the shop. I do need to speak with you. We actually will be sending you out to do some field work sooner than I had actually anticipated, but you're certainly ready." I'll leave the letter with you. If there's anything you need from me before you go, come see me. I'll be in the back. However, this is something that other capable bodies have chosen not to assist the city with, and we are choosing to do so. And the choice has been to send you.
All right. As soon as we're finished up here, then I'll take a look.
Yeah,
And
he
he-
should be almost done now.
He nods politely and respectfully to you, and walks to the back. Notices your fixation and pokes you in the ribs playfully as he walks by.
Oh, stop.
Don't stare. And you guys wrap up your business. I don't know how curious you are about the letter with the official seal of the Chancellor that was received or not, but that's what's sitting on the table in front of you.
Well, that's lucky. How long that's going to take you away?
I don't know. Maybe we should have some sandwiches while I look at it.
I'm good with sandwiches. We can wait. I don't have to leave too soon.
I.
Yay!
Oh, goodness.
Food.
Everyone can have sandwiches.
Already standing there.
Apparently, yes. I don't remember if he said it was private or not.
No, he didn't say anything about it being private. He just said, "Come see him if you have any questions."
Oh, okay.
What'd you get there,
And-
boss?
Hey, I don't know.
Oh, this is pretty cool.
So I know. It's pretty.
You're all pretty
So
And official.
you know,
and official.
package stuff up and make a couple notes and set stuff aside that just to be inventoried and brought in later with the stuff that you brought over. And then busy myself in the back a little bit grabbing some sandwiches and sit down with the letter so that I can open it and we can see what it is.
This one's not addressed directly to anybody. It seems like it's sort of a letter that was written to many people, probably many times. And it is a request from the Chancellor to the acting religious bodies to offer the assistance and dispatch the help of a learned healer to, what would be the word he would use? A learned healer to address and properly address and potentially dismiss the concerning reports that are coming in from a small hamlet. And it goes into what the reports are, and to summarize the reports, they have said that for the last, they've said this is the third time it's happened. Each time there is a bad thunderstorm at this village, that demons and fiends rain from the sky, and when they attack people, these people are getting sick, and when they get sick, they are staying sick and not getting better. The wounds don't seem particularly grievous. The illness simply won't go away despite the best efforts of the local apothecary. And however, every time there is a thunderstorm, every time the fury lights up in the heavens, there are fiends that are falling from the sky and attacking people and attacking livestock. They fall through some of the thatched roofs. And of course, nobody has been able to kill one. Nobody has been able to capture one. There's not anything that they can offer by way of proof. However, this is the third time it's happened, and they are really, really in need of some assistance. And the reports that are shared seem very dire and sincere, and the letter of the chancellor seems to take most of it with a grain of salt, because it's part of his job. Everything that's brought to him is, of course, world ending. So he does want to send some people out there to look into it and appease and take care of the populace and respond to it. However, he's expecting that it's probably just something ridiculous, like a snake bite or some kind of strange superstition or whatnot. So he's not taking it too seriously, but he is taking it seriously enough to send some people out. He apologizes sort of as a formality that the city simply does not have the resources to spare to send its own people out right now. However, any provisions or tack or harness or anything that you need to make the trip not only faster but more comfortable for you will be provided by the city. Traveling across the open terrain, it is also recommended that any church representatives take able-bodied folks with them if they can, just because there is safety in numbers, even though most of the highway between here and there should be fairly safe. And you are given a stipend of, you can bring up to, for the church, they would say up to 3 other people. And each of you, upon return, will be paid a stipend of 30 gold for your trouble. It should be, the hardest part of the trip is supposed to be the ride, because it's about a 4-day one-way ride.
Yeah. 4-day excursion. And then back again. Plus whatever you got to do there.
That's kind of interesting.
Road trip.
There's nothing simple about just a regular road trip, but yes.
I mean, I haven't been
Are you
anywhere
going to
in
be
a
the one that
while.
asks him if he wants to go?
Hmm?
I said, are you going to be the one that asks him if he wants to go?
You ready to come? It's gonna be fun.
I can
That's
get
gonna mean that you're gonna invite me, boss. Come on. Business has been kind of slow. I got nothing to do.
Well, of course, I wouldn't leave you to your own devices in the shop. Well, I'm sure I could use the help.
And it's been ages since I've been out that way. I'm sure it'd be a good reason to
You okay?
make relations back out that way again, so sure.
Sounds like there's
Yay!
a wee bit of similarity.
Like raining demons. Sounds interesting.
Oh. And part of the
Right?
winging this and me not being prepared, sorry, is part of the letter is an investigator has been procured to go with you.
It doesn't say who though.
Okay, well,
What it doesn't say is a
Investigator.
constable or anything like that. It specifically says an investigator.
An investigator.
Hmm.
so we're just to debunk the information.
You know, I know an investigator that might be very interested in this whole entire thing because it sounds very similar to something we were looking at.
I know, I was wondering the same thing. We should
We should just see if Tristan's going to
Yeah.
be coming along.
see if he's heard anything about it.
That'd be really cool.
I don't know. Wonder if the investigator they've assigned is nice at all.
I'm sure we'll get the job done. Well,
Well, hopefully it is Tristan, because there's no other investigator that I would trust more than Tristan.
Well, I probably would agree with you. I'm going to have to maybe ask for some guidance in terms of what we should bring with us. If the locals aren't able to take care of the situation, we may have to bring extra things with us. Maybe I'll do some divination before we head out and see if I can get any guidance from the mother.
Okay.
It's not going to take long.
You say that last time.
I'm gonna go take my wagon back. I'll be back in another hour or two then.
Yeah.
And
That should be enough time.
I'll bring extra food
Or sandwiches.
or sandwiches. Yes.
You be the cucumber ones?
I'll
I
bring
love
good
those.
food.
While I'm doing this,
Extra
you
sandwiches.
can actually busy yourself about finding Tristan and seeing what he
Yeah,
knows
we'll find
about
it
it.
right now. Yeah, no
You
problem.
know,
Okay,
and
okay.
I'll do this over here.
All right. I'm going.
Shoosh. And I
I'm
like
gonna-
scoosh him out of the doorway.
You gonna
I'm
Give
gonna
the-
take our wagon, head back.
you gonna give him a ride back to town?
You're coming into town?
Going to find Tristan?
Yeah,
Well, I gotta find
you
Tristan.
find
Oh.
Tristan.
We're heading that same direction.
I'm like patting him on the shoulder as I'm swinging Jogra into the seat.
Well, let's go. Yes.
Cool.
As I'm walking away from the wagon back into the shop, I'm chuckling.
Okay.
I'm just shaking my head, kind of chuckling.
As we're leaving the Abbey and all the other places, I'm just putting up my hood, heading out. It's just a simple cart, one horse, just sitting on the cart, heading out. All right, let's head back.
Yeah, as we're probably heading, I'll probably ask some stupid questions like, when you wear a hood, does your horns get sunburn or something? That's why you gotta put the hood on? Or
It,
Yes.
it helps because of the atmospheric pressure. Okay, so
Yes isn't a long enough answer because, see, then there's another question. All right, so it takes about 2 hours with a horse and cart to ride back into town.
yeah,
Is there anything specific you're going to do for guidance or prep
No.
while they're traveling?
I think I have, moonstone like runes that I carry around with me and playing with while I'm in kind of meditation, gathering, just herbal supplies and tinctures and stuff that I might need. I'm not really sure what the locals have tried and what they haven't, so specifically, maybe herbs and tinctures that I know work well for madness. And if they're thinking it's not as reported, then maybe what the people are reporting, which is seemingly fantastic, might be because of a type of sickness or madness or just
Okay.
Gathering things and kind of trying to focus on any kind of guidance that I can get from the mother.
And you do have healing as a proficiency, I'm assuming. Okay. So you know what you can take. You start putting supplies together. And there's not anything particularly stirring with the feelings you're getting from your runes. The only thing you're picking up is you're not sure if it's eagerness or restlessness, but there's sort of a anxious energy that you pick up. That's all you get. And it's not directing you to any particular cure or antidote or tincture or anything like that. So, but there does seem to be some kind of energy in your questions, what you're getting from it. The person that brought you the missive that will be watching the curio shop while you're gone. One of the older members of the church does take out a small like terracotta, just a little container with a top that just presses on.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "I'm not sure where your journey is going to take you, but I would like you to take this with you. If you don't need it, then bring it back. If you do need it, then use it."
Okay.
And
Do I know what it is automatically, or?
he explains to you what it is, just so you can write down the mechanics of it. It's a healing salve,
Oh,
and there's 8 points of healing in it.
Okay.
It
we make healing salve out of a can only be described as a goop that is part of actual moon magic, and whatever isn't used is actually made into salves.
Just a
also.
jar of bacitracin.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, at the end of the day,
I know exactly.
we discovered
what to
that
do
early.
with that. I know exactly what to do with that.
so
Okay.
yeah, and he
Okay.
he just leaves that with you, and he says, if you need it, use it. If you don't, then simply bring it back. But it's good for closing wounds and helping people heal and whatnot. It's not a very fast or powerful type healing, but
Okay.
it's a little clay pot full of 8 hit points. Is the mechanics of it.
Neat.
All right, you guys,
I made my way back
you
to
make it back to
the
town.
quarry, drop off at all the equipment, all that kind of stuff, and grab a horse, and just let them know I'm going to be heading out in this direction for a couple of days. So it seems interesting. Might be able to get some contacts or something out there, see what's going on. But
Are you checking in with your family or just like
The
a quarry
family.
foreman?
the
Or,
quarry, and then likely one of my parents is likely there.
Okay.
So I'll fill them in the detail.
they're a tad concerned.
Mhm.
They give you an extra, just sort of what's in their pocket, an extra 10 gold. And just, if you need anything, make sure you're comfortable. They ask you what direction you're going, and how long is too long, because if we don't hear from you, we're going to send somebody to find you.
True. It could be gone for probably 2 weeks.
Okay.
Sometime there, find out what's going on, and then the drive, and then the coming back. But yeah, if it's beyond that, I would then get concerned.
Okay.
Don't worry, Mr. and Mrs. Stormy. I'll bring them back.
We have good company. All right, let's go.
So yeah,
Drop
you're doing what?
You forgot to drop me off.
In the midst of things,
Just don't forget to know 'em.
don't
You-
forget to know.
And you get into town proper. You wander around for a little while. You know sort of what area to find Tristan in, and for the sake of conversational ease, there's a point where you spot Tristan either heading home or heading somewhere else, walking up the street, kind of dodging carts full of goods of various sorts.
Okay. Alrighty, excellent. So I see him in the distance.
Yeah.
I'll yell his name, Tristan. Hey,
Oh,
hey, hey there. Run. Hey, you know what's something really cool?
what's that?
We're going on a little bit of a mission. We're going out to see this little place out there outside town to investigate this weird little thing. It sounds very similar to something we've been talking about. What your incident our incident at the
Oh,
circus.
okay.
You know, these creatures have been falling from the sky and with some strange storms and so forth, and they're just causing all kinds of havoc, and it just sound kind of interesting.
Oh, that's interesting because I'm on a similar quest.
You're the investigator. Yes. I was hoping on that. I was really, really hoping on that. I was hoping you heard something. Otherwise, we would just had to tell the other investigator that we couldn't come because you're coming. But I'm glad.
Yeah, yeah. It's I'm on a collecting some supplies.
Well, just kind of let you know, the church that I'm residing in with Terranel, we are the church is providing some supplies too, so maybe we can get some freebies in that.
Freebies sound good, but this is all state sponsored, so it's all free.
Well, free's good.
Yeah.
Also, a little bit in my pocket too is good too, but we'll see if we get that when we get back.
Yeah, maybe.
But come on to the curio shop. We're gonna all hop on. We're all gonna go from there.
Okay, let me collect my supplies and I'll meet you there.
Okie dokie.
You're supposed to pick up anything that you wanted from town as well.
Oh, I
and
see.
you were there. So, did you want to get the horses and?
Yeah, I could probably get the horses and I don't know, a cart would be nice. You think they're gonna supply us a cart?
Do we
They'll
want to
they'll
keep the
give you
cart?
either a horse for each of you or 2 horses and a cart.
Do we want a cart or do we want a horse?
Separate horses.
Parked my car. I parked the cart, so
I would say horses.
yeah.
Horses? Okay.
Horse should be good.
Yeah.
We shouldn't need that much more for what we're doing.
Okay. So I guess I'll get 3 horses and a pony.
They
Or a Great Dane.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Saddle the
That'd be
master.
so cool.
All right, so yeah, it takes a couple hours. By that time, with the instructions and everything, Alamar has also sort of fallen into where they're going to pick things up. Or were you going to go just straight back to the curio shop?
After dropping you off, made arrangements with with the family and things. Probably got some extra provisions, and then headed back to the shop.
Okay. So are you going to stop and pick up any of the provisions that were offered? Or are you just fine with what you've got?
I have what I have, and then I'll grab if I have some extra. I'll shop around for an extra, just perhaps a healing potion, and then extra provisions.
Okay.
Just if we don't know.
Healing potions are a little steep, and the best deals you might get might be actually out at the curio shop.
Okay, I'll wait and go back. If I'm gonna get something else, I'll get it there. But otherwise, I have the equipment that I need, or at least believe I need. So,
Okay.
I was gonna take those up, saddle the horse, get that all good and going, and then head on back.
Yeah, I really don't have much money to spend on anything anyway, so I'm taking whatever I can for free.
Not a ton. So, at least not my own spending cash. So,
Okay. So yeah, it takes a couple hours, guys, but they get you horses they're not like worn down or anything like that. They're just standard sort of riding horses. And they do stock you up with plenty of dry trail mix and that sort of thing, just dry, stable provisions. And they make sure that there's a little bit of paperwork on who's taking what, and they let you go. It takes you about another 2 hours to get out there, so you have most of the afternoon at the shop to get the provision or get your your healing kit sort of topped off and ask for guidance and everything. And early, well, we'll say late that afternoon, Alamar comes riding back, but he does come back by himself. He is the first to return, though. And
Oh, right.
if there's no exchanges or anything there, then
Yeah, no, just
about 2 hours later, so early evening, it's around 6:30 p.m. Where Jogir and Tristan come riding up with an extra horse, and it looks like they're all loaded for travel.
Okay. And you had a horse when you arrived, right?
yes, I have one. I'm all set.
I would probably have everything already, like in packs, and just be kind of going over the missive to try to understand a little bit better about what the report is.
Yeah, the report, from everything that's there, the report is essentially that there are
Raining.
fiends and demons that fall from the sky in the storm. They have not killed anybody. They tend to, as soon as they are confronted, they flee and just sort of disappear into the night, never to be heard from again.
That's weird.
But now this has happened 3 times that these things fall from the sky during a storm. And they are attacking livestock, and they're attacking people, and the people that they attack are getting sick, and the sickness is not subsiding. It's not killing them, they're not getting any worse, but they're uncomfortable, and the local apothecary can't do anything for them. They can't seem to heal. The wound will heal, but there's a sickness and a fever that just won't break. And all of the reports are that these just foul-smelling feral fiends are just falling from the sky. One of them has come completely through somebody's thatched roof and attacked a family. Sometimes they hit like the roof of a stable really heavily, and then they jump down and attack whatever's there. Sometimes they just fall from the sky and land on somebody, but they're just falling from the dark, stormy sky.
Weird.
And if there's any potions that they want at I didn't know if you wanted to get.
I'm going to guess it's going to be a little pricey, so I think
Yeah, the economy is a little ridiculous.
I will hold off.
Okay.
Yeah. Much as I'd like, but
while I've kind of had some time in the shop, I have quickly made, basically a copy of the missive, just by hand, like rewriting everything, and enclosed it in a scroll and sealed it with
Okay.
just some notes, and left that in my cash box. For I don't remember his name.
We didn't come up with a name.
Oh.
He's an old guy that just sort of works for the church.
Okay. But yeah, I just left that in my cash box for him to find.
Okay. The reports of copies of the reports of what's going on and where you're going.
And
Okay.
just some notes.
if we want any part of this day is to travel, then we should head out now. Otherwise,
There was some urgency that they would like it taken care of as soon as possible, but of course they also have emphasized in several places that they also want you comfortable. So if you guys want to travel in the evening, you're welcome to. You would probably be fine to leave in the morning as well.
I mean, we have a bunch of comfortable beds. Why don't we eat well and get a good night's rest, and then we can head out in the morning? Yeah.
Sure.
Um,
Eat everybody up on a hearty stew and some fresh bread, and
is there any
Well, I
spell
must say, I'm
shuffling?
anxious to go investigate this, because it may lead to clues to what happened to my mother.
I'm thinking the same as well.
Is there any spell swapping you want to do for traveling? Okay.
I'm good.
Can't.
So you guys have a good meal, hang out, and actually have a nice kind of social evening, which is maybe a little bit of a change for Tristan, but the entire place is just comforting and welcoming, so it's nice. And given that you're going to be gone, the church has also said that they will make sure that somebody is checking on your mother for you.
Mm-hmm.
They're familiar with you and the situation, so they will make sure that if you're going out to help others, then they will definitely send somebody to help you and make sure that that's taken care of while you're gone. Okay. All right, you guys saddle up early the next morning.
Yes,
and
leave early.
Mm-hmm.
and hit the road. You've got a 4-day one-way ride to the village of what did I say it was? I had it written down. I wasn't expecting us to get into this, so I didn't bring my notes. We'll call it Brusque. The village of the hamlet of Brusque, which is, you guys know, it's just one of the many small. It's either a farming or mining or crafting village where they make wagons or they make horseshoes or something like that. They're all over the countryside. You expect the place to probably not have a population of more than 50 or 60. You guys travel. There's not. You get your second day, the kind of evening and getting into the night. It sort of settles on you guys exactly how far away from home you are. It's not weird like you're out in the wilderness for the first time, because most of you have grown up in this wide open country space. So, the country. So there's nothing uncomfortable or unsettled there, but you do realize you're pretty far away from any of the big cities at this point. There's a few other travelers on the road that nod and greet as you pass. They're all fairly stoic, but nobody's rude or aggressive or anything like that. There's lots of carts. That's usually the road traffic in Pilter. Somebody's taking goods somewhere or coming back from taking goods somewhere. So lots of cart traffic. And I'll say around 1 in the afternoon on the 4th day, you do come up the trail and around just some sort of low rolling hills to see what will be the village of Brusque.
It's very quaint.
Yeah, there's smoke coming from a couple of chimneys. A couple of people are cooking. It looks like there's less than 30 or 40 structures here. On the road, there are a few sort of large hay barn style things that aren't full buildings, but they're more like just freestanding, almost lean-tos, just to like keep goods dry and stuff. But there's not walls all around it. That seems to be the center of town. There is a well and a couple of permanent structures around it, and then the rest of the structures sort of spread out around this little valley between the rolling hills, and it looks like they're all neighbors, but nobody's close. It's not farming, so they don't have a lot of land, but everybody's a couple hundred yards away from anybody else. And it's just sort of all spread out so they can just sort of be a community in this little valley between these rolling hills.
Okay.
Tristan, I'm going to give you the letter that we received that has the Chancellor's emblem on it.
Okay.
Because perhaps, I mean, small places like this, they don't often trust outsiders.
Do we have a contact? Is there supposed to talk to us? I mean,
I don't have a name in it. Perhaps you know better, but I figure if you have the letter, we could maybe find a small inn, or maybe one of the larger farmsteads has.
Perhaps the
Available
constable
rooms.
will be able
Yeah.
to
yeah,
direct us.
they should be able to help us with some direction.
Yeah.
At least know.
Just- Do we see like obvious signs of like damage or
No.
you know,
No, it
okay,
looks
like holes in roofs and barns and
It's-
stuff as we're
it's-
coming over the crest?
it's all thatch and whatnot, and it looks like it's all been there for a while. So you can tell that there's been damage that's been repaired over the years, but there's nothing that looks like it's in bad shape right now.
I'm not okay.
Hmm.
I find that interesting. I
Yeah.
was expecting more, you know, more
Chaos.
yeah, more of a scene,
With
you know,
beans
maybe
raining from the sky.
holes in roofs and
Yeah.
I expect
and
once we
things
crest the
happening, you
hill,
know?
oh, just chaos happening.
Fire and brimstone and demons running around, chasing people all over the place.
But
Yeah.
yes, let's check in with
That's a good
the
idea.
constable here, and
Find somewhere to get settled. I think
yeah,
then
Yeah.
we can maybe. I need to see the.
Yeah,
those
you
that
weren't
are
given
ill.
any kind of contact or anything. You were basically, what you were instructed in the letter is to make an official presence, make it look like you're there to take care of what's going on. Ask the questions that need to be asked, figure out what's happening with these people, but you're just sort of there to, answer the call and hey, we came, and make them feel better and then come home.
So in other words, we're here from the government and we're here to help.
Yes.
Yeah. There, okay. That
No
should,
one-
that should go over.
no
Well. That should go over lovely.
They have repeatedly asked for the help though, so it's not
Yeah.
like you're showing up unannounced
it's like finally.
to proactively offer help.
Interesting.
All right.
Just
Well,
start.
I'm interested in the sheriff part.
Yeah.
If there's a hospital or infirmary, see about
Yeah. Where?
who's hurt there.
Want to see where they are.
Okay.
See what's going on.
All right, it's not quite that built up of a place. As you guys are riding up the road, you do see an older guy with a long beard and looks like really old padded type armor. It looks like it was probably military at one point, but it's long past its prime. Walking with a spear on the road. He's holding a spear and he's walking on the road toward you. And with him is a child that must be 12 or 13, also with a spear but no armor.
Oh.
And they're walking up the road, just sort of using they're making the spears visible, but they're just sort of using them as walking sticks. But they're walking in the middle of the road and making themselves visible.
Yeah.
Oh, friend, we're from out of town. Where can we find your constable here?
I'm the closest thing you're going to find to a constable here.
All right.
What business have you got here?
Well, we've come from the city at your request, and we're here to investigate your reigning demons.
Ah! Likely. You got anything with you? Shows who you are.
We do.
Give him the letters.
Show him my letter. With the
Comes up and the spear's still vertical, but he's got it off the ground. Takes it and he looks at it, and he just looks at it long enough to see the seal, and then hands it back. It's like, oh, so they're finally listening.
Yes, they were able to send us.
Ah, well, that's all the comfort we need.
Oh, aren't you a little salty? We're here to
You're going to help with the problem, are you?
Well, we'll do our best to. Where are the people that are injured or sick?
They're with the apothecary.
All right.
Schumann.
Well, can you maybe point us the way?
Yeah, come on. And he turns around and he and the kid start walking. The kid puts the spear over his shoulders and is hanging his arm, and the guy looks at him with a little bit of distaste but doesn't say anything, and he just keeps walking with a spear like a walking stick. You guys walk into town past about 4 or 5 of the covered kind of lean-to open barn things. And there's, like I said, just about 4 or 5 actual buildings here. One is a larger building that looks like it's some kind of commerce or loading area. There's lots of wagon tracks outside of it. There's 2 or 3 wagons parked outside it in a couple in varying forms of being repaired, various stages of being repaired. And to the left of that is what looks like a fairly sturdy building built out of mostly wood, but still has a thatch roof. And he explains to you that's where he lives, and he's the one that assesses trouble and deals with trouble before it gets to anyone else. And then across the street and up just a little way, there's nothing in between it, they're just spread out a bit, is it's a thatch and sort of adobe type hut, just the standard construction that's here. It's mud, stone, and sticks. It is fairly large, and it has a round front, and then it looks like off the back it has some kind of storage or fully enclosed area that's completely rectangle. It's not round like that. So it looks like it's probably to store goods or firewood or that kind of thing. It's connected to the back of the house. And he walks up and he says, "Here be Schumann," and just bangs on the door with the bottom of his spear. And a woman in her probably late 20s opens the door. She's got long blonde hair that she has in a braid, but she actually keeps it wrapped around her neck rather than letting it hang. And she answers the door and scowls and then looks around because it's not the person she was expecting. He's brought company. Kid, what's this about? These people are here to help with your sickies. Fine, Thompson, go. All right. If there's any trouble, you just yell. Oh, yeah, I'll yell. She looks and says, apologies for him. He's a bit of a jerk, but what can I do for the likes of you?
Somebody sent letters to the city for assistance.
Well, yes, we have people that are sick and not getting better, and we have things attacking our village at night, but we sort of thought we weren't going to get any help at all, and that Thompson was going to be the only help we had, the only defense we had. And he's not much use anymore.
Well, can I come in and take a look?
She looks you up and down, and you're a healer.
Oh, I am. I'm with the Church of Saloon.
Then your help is welcome here. Please, everyone come. And you enter into, it's the entire round front part is sort of open studio style. There's a fire that's obviously used for cooking. There's a place where the woman obviously sleeps. And there are shelves and shelves of disorganized herbs and mosses and lichens and stuff. They're all low shelves. There's no big, tall book type shelves, but they're only about 3 feet tall with 2 or 3 shelves on them each. But because they're so short and don't hold a lot, they're sort of everywhere. And kind of, if you're looking for anything, you kind of have to weave in and out of them to sort of find what you're looking for. And there's the only place in the little studio round that isn't cluttered is directly opposite the fireplace. There is a small circle of about 6 feet in diameter, where it looks like it is set up for sort of peaceful meditation or prayer. It's the only uncluttered area. And she says, I've been keeping the folks that are sick separate from the village. That it doesn't seem to get others sick. I just can't do anything to help them.
How many of them are there?
There are 4 currently. 1 is a child.
Oh, goodness. Well, may the
Have there been
moon-
others that have been sick?
No. But these each come from whatever these things are, attacking these people, biting them and clawing them, and I can treat the wounds. The wounds will even heal. I can't make them comfortable. Their fevers won't break. Their appetites won't come back. They won't get comfortable. They're clearly not well. And I don't know what else to do.
I'm going to set my pack down with some of my stuff, but not unpack it yet until I've had a chance to actually look at the patients. Are they in the same room? Just out?
She takes you to the back. It's through a back door to what would be a large, fully enclosed like woodshed. So sort of like her garage. It's fully enclosed. It keeps the weather out. There's not any windows or anything. But it's a storage room, and there have been bed rolls and stuff set up in here to try to keep these folks comfortable. It's not full of beds or anything. It's just the best that they've got. And they have been spread out. Nobody's within about 10 feet of each other. And it just looks like they're laying on these sweaty blankets and bedrolls, and they're uncomfortable. It looks like you're looking at a room full of people that have something like the flu.
Okay.
They're just they have fevers, but they're cold. They can't get comfortable. Every time they move, they grunt a little.
So as I'm looking at her, I'm sorry, dear, what did you say your name was again?
Shame.
Shema?
Shamoon.
Shamoon. You look tired, dear. You probably haven't had much time to rest with taking care of everyone. So why don't you get off your feet and have some tea and maybe a bite to eat, and let me take a look at them and get them comfortable. And I'm, pulling up my sleeves and kind of getting into work mode and bustling about a little bit.
Okay. I appreciate your help. I do. You have to understand, I know these people. So anything that's done to or for them, I intend to be part of and be here.
Well, of course,
We can
dear.
rest after you've looked at them. But,
Of course, dear. That's fine. And I'm just gonna
but thank you.
kind of go around and start looking at them one by one. Is there much light in the room?
There's a couple of torches that you're guessing are refreshed for them every couple hours, or a couple of times a day when they want light, but mostly they just sleep.
Okay. Are you in the place with us?
Yeah, I followed.
Okay.
I'm kind of looking kind of hordely at everything.
Jogra, can you find me a bit of candle?
I could do something better for you.
Oh, excellent. Because I
Well,
can't see
kind
very
of.
well. I mean, I can, but I don't want to.
I'll bring out just like a little mechanical ladybug, and I'm gonna concentrate and then create light from it. 5-foot radius, 5 foot.
Okay.
It says, here, maybe this will help you.
Oh, perfect. Isn't this a cute little thing?
with your passive scores, you can tell that these the shelves of all of the herbs and lichens and everything, not they're not just sort of disorganized and in shambles. It looks to you like somebody has gone through this and they've basically tried everything that they can. It's like somebody trying to find. It looks like somebody was trying to find something in a pantry and not putting anything back. It's not just that there's a lot of this stuff and it's disorganized. It really looks like somebody has been trying very hard to just get anything that works.
I'd like to go up to one of the victims and just put my hand on their forehead.
They are sweaty and they are warm.
Okay.
And they are uncomfortable at your touch. Yeah.
As I'm looking at them, am I noticing still open wounds or?
On one of them, there is a wound that has not fully healed. It's been bandaged and it looks like it is healing. It looks like, at this point, it looks like a nasty scratch, like somebody fell mountain climbing or fell out of a tree and got a deep, deep gash from a branch or something like that. It's just a really
Does
rough.
it look infected, or is there anything about the wound that's?
No, it looks like it's been cleaned really well. Go ahead and give me a medicine check.
Um, 17.
Okay. You do. It's been cleaned really well and bandaged, and it is healing with a 17. You do find a bit of foreign material still like deep in the wound. So it looks like there's still maybe something that could be cleaned.
Okay.
There doesn't seem to actually be any infection or anything, strangely enough, but
Can I get the material out to look at it?
you can. Yeah, with a 17, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. I would normally use some kind of poultice to
Mhm.
make it not such a painful ordeal.
Okay.
In order to help them.
Yeah, and that's easy enough. That'll work.
Shamoon, the wounds are beautifully cleaned and cared for. There is a little bit kind of deep in the wound. I'm gonna use a poultice to help it not hurt so bad, but I'd like to clean it out further. You've done a magnificent job. There's no signs of infection.
If you see something that I missed, then yes, it needs to come out so they can hear.
And so I'll get busy, kind of working on that. And are they awake? Any of the patients?
This one is just sort of uncomfortable and
man, woman,
not
child?
delirious. This is a man. He's just fatigued enough from being
feverish
for so long that he's just sort of out of it.
Do they keep anything down? Are they able to eat?
They eat very little, and I have to coax them. When they do eat, they seem to not have a problem with it. They're all so uncomfortable they don't want to eat.
Huh.
Okay.
Are they restless? What's uncomfortable?
A little bit, yeah. They have a hard time getting any kind of rest. They toss and turn and suffer with their fevers until they're fatigued and exhausted enough that they essentially pass out for a while. And then they wake up because they're in pain, or they wake up because they're uncomfortable, and they toss and turn until they're fatigued enough to pass out again. It's the best I've been able to do for them. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with their wounds. And you can see, and she shows you the other ones, including the boy. I'm like, their wounds. The boy has what looks like 4 different puncture wounds on his forearm, but at this point they're just scabs. They're completely healed. and they weren't infected.
Was it all the same creature that wounded them?
It's hard to tell. They sort of just described something coming from the sky and then coming out of the darkness and either growling at them or clawing at them or biting them. And then as soon as somebody else burst into the room, the boy, when his father heard him yelling, as soon as his father burst in the room, the thing just flitted out the window, and was gone in the dark.
I'd like to go to the kid.
Mhm.
Is the kid awake?
He's awake. So they're exhausted, so they're sort of out of it. They're not delirious, but like everybody else in the room, he's just exhausted.
Say, what's your name, lad?
Jason,
What did you see? What caused this?
oh, it was a really big storm, and there was lightning outside, and I like the lightning, so I had my window open and I was watching it, and then something just fell off the roof, and I wasn't sure what it was. I backed away from the window. And I waited. There was more lightning, more rain, but nothing. And I didn't want to get in trouble. So I went to close the window, and as soon as I went to close the second one, something reached in and pulled my arm out, and I either cut me with something or chomped on me, or it hurt really, really bad, and I had to fight to keep from getting pulled out the window. And I stepped back into my room, and this terrible smelling dark thing was on the windowsill and pushing my shutter open slowly. And then my dad burst in the room yelling, and the thing just was gone so fast it was like it disappeared.
Can I see your arm?
Yeah, well, she's...
What is it's like a bite wound?
It kind of looks like a bite wound. It's just uneven. There's like one here and then two up here.
Yeah.
And at this point, they're not very big. They're just scabs just sort of waiting to fall off in 3 or 4 days.
They look like, I don't know, puncture wounds or more of a flat? Like,
They look like they were puncture wounds because you don't see a lot of... do you have any kind of medical training? Medicine?
I don't think so. Let's see. No.
You see him looking at the child's arm, if you care.
I'm still working on the man.
Okay.
Tell me, what do they look clean, or is there anything jagged around the edges?
No, with her instruction, you can tell there's not anything like, there's a little bit of drag mark on one side, it looks like, but there's no bruising like you would expect from something flat or anything like that.
Okay.
It looks like maybe a gigantic dog, like huge dog, bit him, because the two puncture marks are like 3 or 4 inches apart. But other than that,
And you said
but there's another tooth apparently on just one side further back. So it may have been something like that. It doesn't look like it was anything dragged or gnawed or anything like that. It just looks like bonk.
Am I able to get the stuff out by now?
You are. Yeah. And you
So-
keep them as comfortable as you can. You
Clean
make
it
sure
up
that
and rebandage it. And
it is clean from the other cleaning that has been done, but what you find looks like a 1.5 inch long, maybe 1/4 inch wide sliver of just absolutely desiccated fingernail.
yeah.
It's that kind of material. You think at first that it's some kind of bone shard or something, but it's not strong enough for that.
okay. I'm just gonna fold that up in a bit of linen and put it in my pouch.
Yeah,
I don't recognize anything about it. I mean, it's just fingernail.
No, it looks like it's really stiff, but really chewed up. It has that kind of consistency.
Jagged,
If
yeah.
you try to bend it, it'll break.
Okay.
But that was left in the wound.
It was deep in them. Yeah.
Did the other ones have something similar? Maybe we have to reopen.
She's done an excellent job of cleaning and dressing these wounds. This was deep. It's just because of my training I was able to see
Well,
it.
she's missed one.
Wow. Well, yeah. Shamoon, did you get any other debris from any of the other wounds when you cleaned it?
Some, yes.
Did you keep the debris?
No, it was disgusting.
Was it similar to what I just found here?
Some looked like rotten leather.
Oh, bits of flesh.
Even after pulling that out, they're still not getting well. Okay, that debunks my theory.
But
Something
and
is-
there's no sign of actual infection. They're just these folks are sick and they can't get unsick.
Maybe good bleeding. No.
So unnatural. Could it be something undead or something? A cake?
What?
I think we need to find out more about these things. The child, when it ran away, have you seen it again? Has anybody else seen them again?
I don't think so. I
think we need to talk to our other friend and get some more detail of how we've seen them or who else has seen them. Because is it the same group? Is it new things falling from the sky, or is it coincidental
Or
that
is it
they're
just
using it as cover?
A creature that just fell through someone's roof,
Yeah.
that they could say it's fallen from the sky. How fast did that creature run away when your father came into the room?
it was fast.
Yeah.
I thought it just disappeared. It
The
was in the window and then it was gone.
man that I finished cleaning the wounds. I'm assuming he's one of the local farmers.
He's one of the people that lives here. Yeah.
This is,
I think we need to go back and talk to Thompson.
yeah, quite a conundrum. There isn't anything about them that I can tell at the moment that
Yeah.
would give them cause to still be feverish and malaise and
Can you tell if they're diseased beyond just regular sickness?
maybe.
I'd like to ask the victims at large.
Mhm.
It's like,
I don't even know what it would roll
who
for that.
owns or who's the house
You have
located, or
ways
the
if there's a smell.
the
Like
cabin or whatever
Hmm.
you may have to wait until tomorrow.
that one of the creatures fell through the
Suicide.
roof.
But there is
Um,
check for disease.
they
Yeah.
they tell you it's one of the nearby ones up up the hill.
Okay.
And they give
See
you
if there's
directions
something
to
like
it.
that.
I mean, it's not like there's addresses, but they tell you
Yeah.
how to find that one.
I'd like to go check out that.
Yes, I'm interested.
I'd like to do one more nice, kind little thing. Is there a small little object around, or
Yeah, there's rocks and sticks and that sort of thing in here.
okay? I guess I'll pick up a rock and say, "What's her name again?" It's
Child.
no, the lady. Bonnie. Certainly.
Let's go ahead and wrap it here.
Shamoon.
Shamoon.
Shamoon's the healer. Let's wrap the first session here, and when we get together again, I will be more prepped, because I was only really prepping for the setup stuff, and yeah, we'll discuss the schedule and everything, and we're planning to do this twice a month and keep the regular campaign going, and yeah, we're gonna have good times and hope folks are wanting to join us. Thank you. Have a good night.